Okay, today we're going to talk about reference angles. Reference angle, there's like a few things that we got to know. The first thing is that they're always positive. Circle that, that's really important. Next thing, they're between 0 and 90, so they're acute. It can be 90 degrees. That's why I said or a right angle there. But most of the time, it's just going to be somewhere between 0 and 90. The last thing is that it forms an angle always with the x-axis. Reference angles are important because multiple angles can share the same reference angle, and I'll show you all that with this nifty little website. Here's the URL for it if you would like. Basically, this shows reference angle and the large angle. So for here, my reference angle is 16, as well as just a normal degree. Anything in the first quadrant, they're just going to match. Anything past that, though, if you see here, we're talking about the x-axis, and this forms this angle of 52 degrees. Even though this is bigger, still makes that there. If I go past 180, it's still just this angle with the x-axis, so on and so forth. If I go over here, same thing. It's just, even though this is almost a full circle, this part, the reference angle is still just 21 degrees. If I go, multiple times, then it's still just 22 degrees. Even though this is a 1,102, the reference angle is just 22. If I go the other way, I'm in the negative angle-wise, it just means counterclockwise, but yet still I'm just at 14 degrees. And like I said before, this is important because, if I were to go to 45 degrees here, there's an angle over here that has the same reference angle, which is, let's see here, 135. So that's that. You can keep on going. If you want to do down here, that'd be 45 degrees as well. And then lastly, one more that has a 45-degree reference angle. Boom, right there. Okay, so that's that website. You can try it at home if you want, play around with it. You can get the answers on here. So if we're doing 135, we kind of already hinted at that one. We know that way over here is 180, right? From 0 to there, that's 180. So that means like 135 is somewhere around there. And remember, we're talking about the angle formed with the x-axis. So if this is 135 and this is 180, that means this angle would have to be 45 degrees. All right. The next one is at 220. So this is past 180 now. So we're going past 180 all the way 220, somewhere around there, right? 220. Well, if I'm at 180 and this is 220, that means that this must be 40 degrees. And then my last one, 325. Now remember, this is 360, so I'm going all the way around. Remember, going counterclockwise because they're positive, all the way around 325, somewhere around there. So if that's 325, I'm trying to find this angle. So from 325 to 360, that would be 35 degrees. I know I went over that quickly. Go ahead and watch it again if you need to. That was basically everything that we're going to do today. The next thing we're going to do is find the reference angles for 5 different problems. The first one's 7 pi over 4. Now, we know all the way around the circle is 2 pi, right? So that's 2 pi. If I want to convert 2 pi into fourths, that's the same thing as 8 pi over 4. So 8 pi over 4, that's all the way around. Well, I have 7 pi over 4, so that's almost there. That would be right there. Well, I'm talking about this angle right there. So if this is 8 pi over 4 and this is 7 pi over 4, my angle, my reference angle, would be just pi over 4. My next one is sevenths. Well, we know that this, right, I'm sorry, don't mean to draw that, that half of this is pi, right, because the whole thing's 2 pi. Well, if I want to make that sevenths, I multiply the top, multiply the bottom, so that's 7 pi over 7. Well, I have 5 pi over 7, so that's somewhere, like right there. So now I'm trying to figure out my reference angle. Well, if this is 7 pi over 7 and this is 5 pi over 7, I would need 2 more pi's over 7 to get to the x-axis. Now, letter C, let's go on the same thing again. If this was pi, and I made it to ninths, that would be 9 pi over 9. So I'm going to go 2 more and probably go down there. So since I went 2 more than the x-axis, that's going to be 2 pi over 9. Letter D, we have 175 degrees. 175 is almost to the x-axis. That means that that would be 5 degrees. And then my last one here, pick a color I haven't used yet. Let's go brown. Yay, brown. Negative means to go the other way, right? So that would be negative 360. This would be negative, we're adding 90, so that would be negative 450 if I went down there. This would be negative 540, so I'm still not at negative 60. If I went if I added 60 more, I get to there, and that would be 90, so I'm going to stop there. If that's negative 600, and this line is negative 540, that means that this would have to be 60 degrees. And remember, angles are always positive, or sorry, reference angles are always positive, not negative. The last thing that we're going to do is we're going to find the exact values of all 6 trig functions. Now, they're going to say that a terminal side of an angle passes through the point negative 1, 3. Well, negative 1, 3 is right here. So I'm going to have a triangle right there. The terminal side makes my reference angle be theta, so I'm going to blow up the triangle a little bit. That's theta. We went negative 1 to the left. We went up 3. So if I want to find Pythagorean theorem, if I want to find this last side, I'm going to square 3. I'm going to square negative 1, and that gives me 10. So my hypotenuse is square root of 10. And then from here, we're just doing our different trig functions. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so 3 over square root of 10. You do not have to rationalize. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so negative 1 over square root of 10. And lastly, tangent is opposite over adjacent, which is 3 over negative 1, or just negative 3. How I find the other ones, I just flip the sign, right? So square root of 10 over 3, square root of 10 over negative 1, which I can just say negative 10. Then lastly, negative 1/3. And then we have another one, negative 5, 7. So negative 5, 7 is down here. That means my hypotenuse is there. That means my theta is right there. So I went to the left, negative 5. I went down, negative 7. So that means my sine, oh, we got to find what this is, right? So 25 plus 49, that's a squared and plus b squared. So that's going to give me 74. I'm going to take the square root of that, so that's what my hypotenuse is. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so negative 7 over square root of 74. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so negative 5 over square root of 74. And then lastly, tangent is 7/5, because negative over a negative is a positive. Sorry, I didn't box all those. Excuse me. Cosecant, just flip all of them. Same thing for secant. And then lastly, cotangent is 5 over 7. That's reference angles. There's tons of information online. You can go to that website. Here's that URL again. Wish you the best of luck. Bye.